there's one already made, it will take you there. If not, it will create one.
Will it change what it says? If
Mm-hmm.
it says, like, if it's that or the other thing?
I don't know.
Alright, I'm gonna click to send this on my own tweet. Let's see what happens.
I should go to your Twitter profile, see if people are shit talking.
Sent to the comment section. There are no comments at this time. There's some trending.
We're live, by the way.
Such as Count Dankula. Oh, we're live?
Yeah.
Holy shit, when the fuck did that happen?
Like 2 seconds ago.
You actually made it fucking work.
No, it's still like 240p.
Well, but it's not in 4:3 though. At least there's that, right? Like, well, or am I just seeing it wrong?
No, I mean,
Yeah, no, it's not in 4:3. It looks okay. It looks.
what it does in
relatively
4:3 is it's just squishing the
Yeah.
16:9, so you just stretch it back out and it'll look fine.
Right. I couldn't make it do that.
Fine. I can't put enough quotation
Last
marks.
time I had that problem, I kept trying to stretch it, but it would just make it grow by scale.
You just gotta right click it and fit to window.
Ugh, God damn it. Yeah,
Welcome to I Am Games, the half on brand stream on twitch.tv. It's the second day of
Oh my
spring, so I
God.
figured we have no more excuses. I gotta suit up. So I did.
Oh boy.
Boys and girls,
Fucking A.
we're making a public plea. And by we, I mean me. Any further donations to I Am Games will go towards buying a new capture card because Jesus Christ!
Yeah, if somebody wants to, if y'all want to, like, is there any way we could just do like a $250 fundraiser through Twitch to get a new capture card? Because our shit fucking crashes all the time. And
There's
it's
gotta be. Some
fucking
Twitch
pain
star
in
just
the
got
ass.
$200,000 to buy a new house, so.
What the fuck is happening? How did I end up on this fucking channel?
Gotta go to the dashboard, dude.
I'm trying to get to the main page so I can get the link to the actual stream. So I
Just
can post it on Twitter.
twitch.tv.imgames.
Well, you know, I'm trying to get there. Alright, we're streaming. What are we doing? Devil May Cry 5?
I don't know, chat. Do you want to do Devil May Cry 5 or start Hellblade, which I've never played before?
Alright, DMC 5 or Hellblade? We need
Go.
the vote.
Go. Go.
It's probably
Go.
gonna take a few seconds before they hear us. Play Max Payne. Fuck you. DMC 5
We need to
says
add Max Payne to our
haphazard,
block list.
98. Hellblade, so I don't have to see more DMC spoilers. DMC 5, Hellblade. It's pretty even split so far. Hellblade.
It always is.
What's the vote for? Hellblade for the memes?
Is Hellblade a meme game?
I don't think so. DMC 5. I mean, maybe the memes of you getting frustrated and losing and having to start the whole fucking game over.
I read it was like more of a puzzle game.
DMC 5, DMC 5. With yourself. DMC. Devil Cry Man, baby.
Whoa.
We have seeded up DMC 5.
Is that even possible?
I haven't seen that much DMC 5. I feel like I'm in a strange position because I feel like we should capitalize on the fact that we actually care about Devil May Cry 5 as a channel. But
You're so...
I'm way too much of a noob to say anything meaningful about the game. You did a podcast. It didn't really get that many views. I don't know if you have any interest in writing a video about it, or if you have anything like that you think you would uniquely have to say, or wanted to say, or cared about.
I mean, there's probably something I could think about it. I mean, I'd just be like, man, this game's fucking great.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like if I watched you play and you explained the higher level mechanics to me.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm not a high-level Devil May Cry player by
Right.
any stretch of the imagination.
I mean, compared to the guy who's doing, like... I mean, I can also just watch videos of people doing really high-level play.
You got a bunch of resubs.
Like, I basically have an understanding of how high-level Devil May Cry works. I think that what interests me the most is I thought about constructing a video.
Ran at E764. Those are weird username. Subscribe to Twitch Prime. E7564 for the first time, and
the other guy, I might have done my glasses on, 6 months in a row. Ninja Suffering EU when? EU?
What's EU?
I have no idea.
I mean, European Union?
Maybe he's saying, when are we going to get the Ninja Suffering shirt available to Europeans?
Oh,
'Cause we
fuck.
still haven't put it on Redbubble.
You're
yet.
right.
That's probably what he means. I'm glad he keeps reminding us that he still cares. We really should take care of it.
It's like $3.
He obviously will pay for it if we actually fucking do it.
Alright. I thought it was some weird Sekiro thing, since it's coming out tomorrow and the torrent's already out.
Oh, maybe? I don't know.
Alright. Well, I'm just gonna boot up.
That might be what he means.
I don't think
Maybe
so.
Sekiro is Ninja Suffering, and that's what he's indicating. Sekiro and Ninja
Should we
game?
play that tomorrow? Should we just bring back the Friday stream for some Sekiro Day 1?
Dude, I mean, I was thinking if there was a midnight release, I was gonna just go fucking buy it and just stream it right away. But I,
mean,
don't think
it's
they're
already
doing that.
torrented and cracked, so people are playing it right now,
Well, then I guess I don't really care about being first. Then
including Nate. And he gave me the link to the torrent, so I'm torrenting it right now. Oh god, I said that on stream. Oh god! They're gonna dox us.
if you
We're
finish
fucked.
the torrent, do you want to just stream it tonight and be one of the first people streaming Sekiro cracked?
I'd have to like bring my PC in here because it's obviously on PC. We wouldn't be able to play it on this. It would explode.
Yeah. Well, that would be a pain in the ass.
It would be a huge pain in the ass.
I don't know. Do you think it would be of a massive benefit to us?
I mean, it really depends on how hype you are for, because this is more your territory. It's a fun
I'll fucking play it. I'm not amazing at these games, so I'm not going to be the best guy playing it, but I'm not going to get pissed off at the game. Like, I'm going to be having fun, Like, no matter what, if I'm playing it, I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm playing fucking Sekiro. Like, even if I suck, I'm like, I don't expect the learning curve to be within the first night of gameplay.
I mean, the game looks fucking cool from what I've seen of it.
So
and
if
the mechanic sounds sick.
If the
Oh god, I
game
didn't want to
is-
do this. I didn't want to do this on stream. No, fuck!
If the game is ill, I will
was
be
not ready
having
for
a good
this.
time. So, like, I don't know if that stream
This
is
is
going
like
to get us a lot
fucking
of
huge
attention.
spoilers. This is like the final boss.
Shit.
I fucked up. I just wanted to go to my save file.
I mean, what the hell else would the final boss have been but some shit like this?
Oh,
Like,
it's like
of course they're all gonna fight each other. That's the nature of the story.
also I can't beat this without a gold orb.
This looks fucking amazing, by the way. This fucking level looks awesome. So anyway, this reminds me of the idea I had for a video called Devil May Cry versus Dark Souls. And it would be a video that's like, the beginning of it would be like, I know that this conversation doesn't necessarily make sense, but it's one that is had for some reason. And then I want to explain the sort of relationship of these two games as like two very popular franchises that are seen as very hardcore, where like the fans of them are expected to play up to a certain level and caliber, as a way of showing off. Like, they're games that you play because they have such high skill ceilings that if you play it at the highest level, you will look like a fucking badass and feel like a fucking badass, But they have very different ways of approaching that, and like, one is more about reflexive technical ability and like being able to actually press buttons on time, which is closer to like a fighting game mentality in a way, like, which is what I see, talking about Devil May Cry. And then with Dark Souls, it's like slower and more methodical, and it's more of like a test of endurance and just not making any mistakes, for as long as possible.
It's funny, there was a fighting game player I was watching who played Devil May Cry for the first time playing the 5 demo. And he was like, oh yeah, it is like a single player fighting game. He then made the most hype fucking video I've ever seen in my life. On day 1, he beat the boss you're supposed to lose against, with no upgrades or anything. Because like the first
Did
boss...
he do it on his first try?
No, he did it with 75 attempts. It was like a 4-hour
God.
stream.
But he did it on his
But
first
this
way
was like
through?
before people even knew it was possible that you could, because like remember that first boss you fight where you just get fucking curb stomped? Like that's the point is Nero because you have no abilities or anything. He spent 4 hours, beat that, boss, and then if you beat that boss, the game just ends. Like, you win. It starts the credits,
Holy
because, like,
shit.
there's nothing left to do. It's like, this is the best possible outcome, like, says that, and then you just win. Because the whole game ends. The whole story is based on you losing there. So if you beat that boss, which is possible, it's just, the game's
That's
over.
fucking awesome.
So it was just, like, he has this awesome video, like, on day 1 at, like, 4 in the morning.
Was he the first person to beat the game?
He was the first person in the world to do this run. I don't know if he's the first one to beat the game.
Like,
like,
was that his first run? Like, did
Yeah,
he just go right in and just decide?
He decided going in. That's what he wanted to do.
So, how long did it take you to beat this game? Like, how many hours?
Longer than 4 hours.
Yeah, I would imagine. Like, how long? Was it like 15 hours or like 8 hours?
Probably like 10 hours maybe.
Okay, because like, I don't imagine that a lot of people just on their first run beat it in 4 hours. You know, if it's a game that could take you 10 hours to beat.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine maybe like really good players would do it in like 5 or 6 hours on their first run. If they're just busting out all the same combos they remember. There's a lot of new shit in this game. You have to learn V, like, that's a whole new fucking control scheme, you know? So, like, I feel like it's possible if you just did it in 4 hours after launch of the game, that he was the first person to beat Devil May Cry 5, which would be fucking hilarious.
Well,
And, like, the
with
best-
time zones and stuff, it's hard to say. Oh my god.
It's like, that's a legend if it's if
Dude, the
it's
video
true.
was so good.
Anybody in the chat know this? I gotta know. I'm looking down at the chat. Did you read the chat? People were telling the IRS about e-thoughts when they should have been calling the IRS about Digibro. What a fucking legend. Is that Max Dude or something? Don't know what you're talking about. Is this Son of Sparta mode?
It is Son of Sparta mode.
Is that the highest difficulty?
Not even close. The hardest mode is Hell or Hell, where everybody has uber fucking powers and you die in 1 hit. Alright. We're gonna do something else. This will get really boring. Just me getting-
People, when we were talking about the possibility of doing a Sekiro pirate stream, people were losing their shit telling us to do it. They're like, you need to do it. You need to play Sekiro. You should do this immediately.
We should get.
This is the
we should
only
get.
possible
We should do
outcome.
it. We should both buy some like eye patches and just be like, yeah, we pirated the game. Be in character.
Yeah.
I mean, if the people want it, you know. I'm not as good at this. I'm better with Nero, anyways.
Have you beat the game Son of Sparta Tone?
No, that's what I was just attempting to do. I'm stuck on that mission. I'm doing a Son of Sparta run, no gold orbs, so I'm not using any continues.
It makes me really happy that spelling your name as Tome has become a meme in the chat.
I mean, I'm all about it. I just do not mind at all.
Oh god.
Yeah, damns.
Wait, it's already piratable a day early? Apparently.
Yeah, I don't know. Nate's playing it right now, as far as I know. Probably not
Yeah.
on stream, because you know, if you're playing it now on stream, you're just being
God, I
like,
haven't even tweeted or fucking shit yet.
"Oh God."
Play Nero. I'm calling it Devil May Cry 5 Son of Sparta. How is that?
Sounds good. Let's do it. There's so much of this game I haven't even touched yet. I just want the fucking the update with Bloody Palace to come out. Then I'll just never stop playing it ever.
My road's out, so I'll take the low road.
Put Son of Sparta in the title of the video as well, because I figured that maybe more people would give a shit if it's like a higher level game. Comparatively to
people
normal
people
mode.
coming in to see my high level gameplay will probably be disappointed.
It's really incredible how good it looks on the television and how fucking garbage it looks on the stream.
Forgot that was even a thing.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Wow, fucking waste. It's like the frame rate is fine, and it's putting all of the stuff on screen that it is being told to. It just is only being told to output. Like, it just looks very washed out. I don't know how much of it is just the brightness of this monitor.
No, it is. It's running like it's such an insanely low resolution for no reason. Again, okay, to understand, the Elgato says there's no signal right now in its settings.
No fucking sense. Guys, what should we do to go about setting up a fund to
Set up a GoFundMe.
Should we just do that? Should we just do a GoFundMe for a new capture? Do you think people will pay for it in the Iron Games fan base? Like people, because like it's gonna be the same people who already subscribe to the channel probably, but they might be willing to just put up an extra $5 for the sake of, I don't know, improving the timeliness or quality of the streams.
Yeah, I mean,
though I don't even know.
100% of our lateness is because of the Elgato.
But I literally do not know how long this like live streaming venture will even continue, because it depends a lot on whether or not you're coming with me to Virginia Beach in May.
It's true.
So like, if that's not if you're not coming with, then like the nature of this live stream would have to change considerably, you know? Because we would not just be sitting on a couch together and doing a live stream. We could potentially still live stream together twice a week via Discord.
Sure.
But it would be very different. We would probably we would either have no camera or each have our own camera, I guess. We could probably set something up. That would have to mean that we were taking the streaming venture a lot more seriously than something that we just walk upstairs and do, you know? So we'd probably be, I don't know.
That would be like a real thing.
Trying to put more into it, but whether or not that is justifiable is unclear. So, anyway, if we did all that to buy a capture, then we would only have one capture, and so we would have no way of, like, if we just were trading off who was playing the game, who gets the capture. Now, if we just dedicated the show to you always play the games, then we would just do a fundraiser for you to have a capture. Which is fine.
Oh my god, I'm getting fucking wrecked. What is happening? This is like a really bad run. I was like, oh, I should get this A up to an S.
Tom, I want your official word on this issue. Did you or did you not use the word cripple in the correct context in a tweet? I want to set the record straight.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I think so, right?
Weren't you calling yourself a cripple?
All I said was that my leg has gotten so bad, I am a cripple. Because I could not move, as you plainly observed.
Yeah.
And this guy was not pleased. He was double nonplussed about my
How
usage.
can you be mad about somebody calling themselves a cripple
when
they are literally crippled because they cannot walk?
To be fair, he was not mad specifically that I said it. Is that the tweet was not put behind a content warning for ableist language.
What the fuck is do they have that on that app?
I guess so, but the thing is, I'm mirroring all my tweets, and I'm using Twitter, and that's how I'm posting on it. So I had no way of doing it. Yeah. But of course, then he like found out about the PCP and instantly banned me.
So, like,
for homophobic.
That's so
slurs.
weird. Like, how many people are on this platform that the mods have time to like investigate?
This is a very small instance. The mod has like 94 followers. But he's just not happy that I said gay.
You were saying let's make a petition so marking Digi adopt Tone.
I would never subject you to such a terrible fate.
Tom, have you played Darksiders?
No. I want to. I have Darksiders too. And I actually was going to play it like last year, and I asked Twitter about it, if I should play that or who's the other game I was playing? Infamous, and they all overwhelmingly said play Infamous instead. I was like, oh okay. So then I got into Infamous and never went back to Darksiders.
Are you guys gonna try to capitalize on the Sekiro hype?
Well, we were just talking about the Midnight stream because we got the pirate copy.
Yeah, I mean, like, how quickly could we do that? How quickly could we set that up?
All we'd have to do is unplug.
Like, do you already have it downloaded?
What, Sekiro?
Yeah.
It's downloading.
How long will that take?
I'm
saying we
another
can just turn this stream into a Sekiro stream as soon as we are capable.
Well, again, technically speaking, the game's not out. So if we stream it a day before it's actually out, we're basically just saying yes, we definitely.
Are there
stole it.
not already people doing that?
I don't know. That's a good. That's a good question.
Alright, I'm going to investigate. Because if there are already people doing it, then that's just like we're just in the crowd, dude.
I'm playing too much Dante. I forget all the cool Nero shit.
Browse a motherfucker, browse. Definitely does not appear to be on the browse page.
Well, I mean, I would assume they probably don't even have the ability to select the game yet, because it's not time to go. You know.
Might be right. Alright, let's try to search. Soda poppin'.
Devil's down even deeper.
Alright, there is a guy with 30,000 viewers playing this game, playing Sekiro. Soda poppin'.
Bold.
It says Sekiro playthrough / time to farm this game. Thanks Activision for key. So I guess he got a key from Activision.
Unless he's just saying that.
Who the fuck knows?
I guess we could say that. Thanks
He's
for the
got
key.
30,000 viewers. I would believe that they gave him a fucking key because the motherfucker has a shit ton of fucking
Of course.
viewers. Here's a Korean guy playing
classism.
it. Everything's in Korean. He's got 8,000 viewers. There's like a bunch of Korean people streaming it. I don't know if it's just out there. Sekiro first playthrough PC. Thanks for the copy activation. Hashtag ad. I think, okay, this guy's only got 6,000 viewers and he's also saying he's got an activation key.
Where the fuck are we gonna get some fucking shit like that?
I think they're lying. I think this guy's lying. The first guy I was willing to believe it, but now that I see that it's a racket that people are doing, I think probably they're just saying it as a cover-up, which is pretty fucking ingenious. Yeah, these guys are saying even if they legit had a copy, they probably would not be allowed to stream it early. Pirating is cool kid slang for getting a review copy in I Am Games lore, don't you know? Why did Digi never get into the streaming life? Because it's always a pain in the ass to set up every time. And it remains that way to this
We
day.
could do the Jesse method and we probably have a lot less frustration.
He has a ton of frustration. His fucking shit just stopped working entirely, remember?
I mean, at least it started working.
He just streams off the PS4.
That's what I mean. That's probably
But,
way
like,
easier.
He has one of those PS4 microphones, which it sounds like fucking shit. I mean, it sounds good enough, I guess, because he sounds good and he says funny things, you know? So you're willing to listen to it, but, like, fucking, you can't hook up, like, a real microphone to the PS4, you know? So, like, you're stuck using, like, a shitty mic.
You just gotta get a good gaming headset.
Gotta get a Turtle Beach, dude.
Oh,
Are those still a big thing? I remember those being big back in the Black Ops days.
I just like having all the options for like exporting and shit easily available to me right
I like
there.
having the option to play games on time. We don't have that right now.
It's true. I mean, we are playing a PS4 game. We could probably figure out how to just stream from the fucking console. I don't even know if you can hook it up so that it just directly streams to a computer without needing a capture.
No, it just the only option with the PS4 native is you should stream directly from the system.
I don't think our Twitch is hooked up to our
It is
PS4
not.
though.
We should be. That would be probably the easiest part of the whole endeavor. Why would you do that?
Yeah, the first few times I streamed, I started streaming like pretty early on into my YouTube career. I don't think I had ever streamed before that, but like
Oh fuck.
I was streaming the oh god, I guess I was using Twitch right from the start because Twitch has been around fucking forever. So like but back then it was like very strictly gaming, you know. Like the biggest reason that I didn't like to stream was that the main streams that people watched were gaming streams, and I generally suck at video games. Like, people make fun of the way I play games. I only really enjoy a handful of games. I can't really pay attention to a game and talk at the same time all that well. Like, you know, I can't read the chat and play the game at the same time.
I mean, the reason like we do it this way is that combined we have almost one whole gamer brain.
Right, exactly. And so like when I used to stream in the early Pony days, like I would have like 6 fucking people in the room usually, and I did it very rarely. Like the first one I remember doing was, oh, I know the first one was the Metal Gear Rising stream because that was what made it a big deal, was that it was my first stream. Like, and I would have probably announced it on the main channel at the time, but that would have only been like probably less than 50,000 subscribers, you know? So like only like 2,000 people maybe even watched the stream announcement video or clicked on it at all. So like I probably had like an audience of like 100 or so people. And I streamed like all night, like 6 hours, but it was like me and all of my friends. Like Victor was there, my friend Trevor, Brandon Tolentino, Brando. Everyone's talking over each other and just like talking like crazy, doing crazy shit on camera. People are taking off their shirts and shit, getting rowdy. It's weird, you know? And I'm streaming like all fucking night. Because at some point they all leave. Like we all go to get Taco Bell like in the middle of the stream, and then come back, and I just keep playing by myself, and I just start like singing karaoke of like whatever anybody tells me to sing for like 45 minutes.
So
doing backflips.
The DNA's been there from the beginning.
Oh yeah, no, that's how my streams have always gone, because that's what I like to do, you know. I like to sing and read chat and talk to people directly and answer questions about myself, because I'm a fucking egomaniac.
I just want to play video games. I think
I just want to play video games.
I'm pretty sure the only stream I did back during those days, I did a DMC Devil May Cry stream, and Theory Brony was moderating the chat.
Yeah.
That's how fucking old that stream was.
That's fucking hilarious. I can't believe he was moderating your chat.
Yeah. Back in the day,
I didn't
back
even really
before all
know
the
you
shit
knew
went
him.
down.
So
Remember we get him like a bunch of money?
yeah,
We need to get us a bunch of money.
yeah.
Damn.
Anyway, Jesus Christ.
Oh, that was a really bad play at that level. Unacceptable!
Fucking what the hell was I talking about?
Talk about your first stream.
Oh yeah, I believe it was. Okay, 'cause I'm conflating several different streams. Because I was talking about the Metal Gear Rising one, and then I started talking about the fucking Ocarina of Time one, which is like my second stream. So these were two. Like Metal Gear Rising was the first one because I just did the whole game in one go. It was like 4.5, 5 hours, and I just streamed it all the way through. I think I had one friend there, but a lot of it was me doing like song requests and shit of like My Little Pony songs and just like singing and like talking about MLP mostly because that was all anybody knew me for, you know. And then the second stream was like where all my friends were involved and like nobody knew what the fuck was going on because they don't know who any of these people are unless they were well, I don't even think Digibros existed yet. So people had no idea who the fuck these people were. They're just my friends who were in the stream, you know. And we did like a few like that, but it would only happen every couple of months. And like nobody's gonna like consistently care or come back. Like the only reason any of my streams would have viewers is that people were independently hyped for that stream because I'd made a big deal out of it and I didn't generally stream, you know? But like there's no benefit to me from doing that. Like having a stream with a couple hundred viewers, like if I'm not getting subscribers, then they're not paying me anything. And Twitch doesn't give you money for ads, you know? Like, there was no benefit to me streaming on Twitch because it's not something I ever thought I was going to do full time because it seemed like everybody who streams is either really good at video games or like really hyperactive and, you know, whoa.
You either have big skill, big personality, or big tits.
Right, exactly.
That's
a perfect way of putting it. Have you heard that from somewhere? Or did you make that up?
That was.
You're a fucking genius. Big skill, big personality, or big tits. I don't have any of those things. I have like a mildly big personality, but mostly I just like to talk about myself. And I have fans who are weirdly obsessed with just hearing everything about me, I guess. And a lot of them are also fans of Tom because we've been working together for a really long time. And we work in sort of similar avenues. And we're both on the PCP. There's a lot of lore surrounding that.
Ohio Gozaimark!
Also, we have our own lore, clearly. Was that raisins and... Oh. Gross. I think I had that maybe when I was a child. Bringing back memories from before. I'm telling the story of my early streams and how it was like I would just once every few months with a bunch of my friends stream some game, usually just to completion over the course of a day or two, you know. So like, I remember doing Metal Gear Rising. I remember doing Ocarina of Time across 2 days. God, I don't even know if I fucking did any other streams. That might have been it. Like I tried to do like a cave story. What I used to do a lot of is because I was always up all night, I would just do weird experimental shit like early in the morning that might not ever see the light of day again. So for instance, I might do something like start up a live stream randomly unannounced at 4:30 a.m. and only like 15 people are there, and I'm just trying to figure out if all my equipment works, basically. So like one time I did a cave story stream, and I kept insistently like asking, like, does my shit sound right? And they're like, yeah, you know, it's fine. There's just like a little bit of whatever, but it's all good. I listened to it back, and it was like disastrous. And I was like, how is this possible? Like, nobody said anything? None of you 18 people, some of you who were in the chat, thought to say that this audio sounds like dog shit? Like, come on.
I just think people's standards are way lower than yours.
No, it was like, it was bad, because it was recording 2 audio tracks of my voice, but like delayed
Dude,
from
we
each
have
other.
echo right now, and nobody's bitching about it. I'm sure the echo's really
Our
bad,
echo's
as it
not that
always
bad.
is. It's, dude.
I've listened to our streams, they're listenable. When they get to YouTube, they're fine. They're listenable. I don't know how they sound live that much, but they usually sound good when I put them on the laptop speakers. So, I think they probably sound fine. This one was like literally unlistenable. I was going to post it on the After Dark channel like afterwards, and then I just listened to it back and I was like, no, this is not going out. So yeah, like because it would always go wrong, there'd always be audio issues, it's hard to do by yourself, I just kind of gave up. And then, like, I did a couple event live streams where I did the one time I streamed for 24 hours straight, and it was just like, Twitch always seemed to be the one, like, if people want to watch a live stream, they seem to want to watch it on Twitch. Like, YouTube live streams sometimes can generate some hype, but, like, it's a very different kind of culture. It's very strange.
People just have expectations on websites, you know?
Yeah. So, like, when I do, like, I did that Crunchyroll stream on my main YouTube channel, that went really well. Unfortunately, the video eventually got taken down, but, like, that was a perfect example of something that made sense to stream on my main channel. Me, like, playing a video game and talking and answering questions would make no sense to stream on my main YouTube channel. And, like, on the After Dark channel, people would just be like, I would rather you just made a podcast. Like, you know, Twitch is where people go to, like, watch a free-form video of somebody, like, using a video game as filler between them, providing entertainment via dialogue, or they provide entertainment by being good at the game, you know? Or just playing games that are interesting to people for some reason. Like, if it was Sekiro, people just want to see someone play Sekiro, you know? And, like, they might not want to just watch some other guy play it and spoil it for themselves, but if it was us, maybe they would want to hear us talk about it right off the bat, you know? Like, so there's that element of what you can do on Twitch. But, like, for me, it just seemed like the kind of shit I do is more like, you know, it just isn't relevant to what live streaming, what people who watch live streams really want from a live stream, you know? But then I started coming up with other ways to approach it, because I was like, well, live streaming is becoming really big, and it's becoming a thing that a lot of people have as like a secondary income, because, you know, you want to have things you can fall back on, and things that, like, things that could potentially expand your scope of audience, you know? And streaming is a good way to do all of that. But it's like, how do you create a stream that is both something that people who watch streams want to see and something that you want to do? And it's like, me and Tom both love video games. We both care about video games. We both want to talk about video games. But we're really selective about what video games we actually enjoy playing. And, like, we're not necessarily always on the hype cycle of, like, playing the newest games and the hottest games. And, you know, we also are just doing other things at the same time. So it's like, you know, turbulent waters, dog. It sounds fine. Your echo has been way worse than this before. Yeah, I thought so.
That's not good. Your echo has been way worse than before. It's great that our echo is just like, you know, 10% shit instead of like 40% shit. Excellent. I'm so stoked.
Yeah, I don't want to get spoiled for Sekiro, but if y'all do it, I'd be fine with that. See? That's exactly... Is Digi still answering my question? Yes, Spicy Salts. I'm basically still answering your question about why I don't stream. Because it's just never made the most sense with my skill set. Even though talking continuously for hours is something I'm very good at. But it's like the context of what I talk about and what the audience for that kind of discussion is. Like, people who watch anime and people who watch streams, I don't think there's as much crossover as you would initially expect.
I Am Games,
you know?
podcast live. Just do them live from now on. Make them a stream.
Or I guess I shouldn't say people who watch anime, but people who would watch anime analysis, you know, versus people who would watch a guy talk about the kind of shit I talk about. But you know, maybe there's a way to make it all make sense. We'll figure it out as we run towards the future. Are there any video game characters that are literally you?
No. I don't think so.
I guess like Okabe from Steins Gate.
Literally you from the MCP days.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh god.
Done.
Not a real game yet though. If ever it would be. Hey, I heard a guy, Kajoro Bitterthorn, for 3 months. He says the gameplay looks insane. When did it get so kung fu-y?
Oh, it's because right now I'm using King Cerberus, which is like a fucking crazy weapon. So in Devil May Cry 3, there's a boss, Cerberus, and you beat him
Yeah.
and you get these tri-pronged nunchucks sort of things. In this game, you fight the King Cerberus, like the one who like they make a cool callback to that whole fight and everything, and he controls 3 different elements. Each head is a different element: lightning, fire, and ice. So the original Cerberus was just ice. So with triangle you have ice, but if you have Swordmaster, with circle you get a fire staff, and then if you charge, you get lightning. So it's like 3 different weapons in one. And he does fucking Bruce Lee shit whenever you use the nunchucks. That's why it's very funny. It's fucking sick.
Tommaso Choco Taco, subscribe to Twitch Prime.
Hell yes. Give us all of the new stream capacity money. We need it. We love it. God, imagine if we just started on time. Can you? I can't even envision such a world.
Oh yeah, It's a Bit Rusty says, I remember a Last of Us stream from back then. Yes, I did stream my whole playthrough of The Last of Us across 2 days. I remember that shit. And, I didn't stream Bioshock Infinite. What was the other game I played around there? I don't know. Literally, my streams were like, just out of the blue, but like, announced that day events. Up until I created the, well, at some point I had like the monthly live streams for patrons that were just like 2 hours long of Q&A basically. But then we started doing this and I just canceled that Patreon reward because I was like, I stream all the fucking time now. If you want to ask me a question, just come to I Am Games. Hey Digi, what if you called your Let's Argue series Digibro versus Everybody instead? Well, I could. But I don't really argue against everybody. In fact, many people have pointed out that I agree with most of the shit that people say.
Oh, I forgot to clear up the images. I wonder I'm getting fucking wrong.
You shouldn't feel too bad about your stream issues. Nate's been streaming longer than you have, and he still constantly has technical issues.
I think it just comes with the territory.
Streaming's fucking hard. It's got too much technology. And we're lucky right now that we, like, a big part of what makes this possible is that we have FiOS. Like, fucking, like, a big part of why I didn't used to stream is that the Wi-Fi in my room was so fucking inconsistent at my old house. Like, my room was way the fuck across the house from the Wi-Fi center, and, like, it would just cut out all the time for no reason. It was very weak up there. Like, it wasn't so bad, because it was FiOS internet in the house. It was, like, really great internet, except that I had, like, the worst possible shake of it. And so it wasn't quite consistent enough to stream all the time, you know? Like, the stream would cut out because the internet would die for a little bit. So, like, we're in a better situation now because we live in one of the few fucking places that has FiOS in the world. In America, I mean. But, yeah. I don't think Nate has any of those benefits. Streams, YouTube. So much fucking stream talk. I'm trying to remember everything about streams. Oh yeah, Nate streams. Dude, I tuned into Nate's latest stream, and his production value is fucking crazy.
I know he tries.
Have you seen his fucking transition things? We gotta figure out how he does this. Where
He has the little, like, stream deck thing. I know he's using that.
whatever it is, like, when he, like, he'll start the stream where, like, a thing, like a window design will, like, open up, revealing his face, like, revealing his camera. And then he'll be talking and shit. And then when he swaps himself with the game, like, he swaps the mode he's in so that it goes from full screen him to, like, him in the top corner with the game, like, the proper stream setup. It does, like, a thing where the camera closes on him and then it opens up and it's in the other arrangement, you know? Like a proper transition. It looks fucking great. And it makes because he starts his stream in an ultra hype way where he advertises it so people are in there before it starts. And then it opens up and he's like, "Hey, it's me!" And he, like, has a soundboard and he's pressing buttons and there's screen transitions and shit.
Imagine
and
if
you're
we could, like,
fuck?
start our stream and not be like,
Yeah.
our stream just like, oh god, we're defeated. It took us 10 minutes.
I don't. So, like, whatever setup he's got going, it's clearly a lot more permanent, and I think it's because it's more simplistic than ours. Because we're in, like, a huge ass room, and there's two of us, and, like, we're playing on a couch, way the fuck away from the screen. We got a camera between us, a mic between us. Nate is just right at his computer in front of all his shit, you know? So it's all probably run through his PC. So when he is ready to go, he just hits fucking record and just goes, you know? We have to, like, come into this room and figure out what is broken and why. Because something has definitely crashed in the days between then and now.
This week has
we're
been
not at our computer.
This week has been particularly bad for starting, just because you've taken the Elgato
Yes.
back downstairs
I also
to do
have
stuff.
taken the Elgato so that I could record all of Metroid Prime, which I did, and then every time we fucking plug it back in, it crashes. So it's a pain in the fucking ass. He has a pad with a bunch of buttons with macros on it. I think it comes with the software to do the transitions. That's fucking sick. I want one of those. I feel like it takes a lot of concentration to be able to do that effectively. To, like, press the buttons while you're going, you know? But Nate's pretty good at it. But he doesn't really have that many viewers on his streams. And I realized it's because he only streams for, like, maybe 2 hours once a week. He streams on, like, what is it, Sundays, Saturdays?
How do people stream hours a day every day?
Because it's what they do.
I don't get it.
If it was your job, I mean, think of it like a 9 to 5. Like,
I don't know how people do that.
I could stream from 9 to 5 every day.
Why don't you?
Because I don't think it would make me enough money.
I mean, that's why I don't work a real job either, because I don't think it makes me
Right.
enough money for the time I put.
Right, exactly. Like, I think I can make more money doing other things, but I don't think I'd be incapable of doing that. I don't know. If somebody could guarantee me that I would make over $100 grand a year streaming for like 5 hours, 6 days a week, I'd be down for that. Oh my god, Tom.
So,
Did you watch Alex Jones on Joe Rogan?
yeah, it was fucking amazing.
It was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Did you watch the first one or the second one?
The new one.
Yeah, I watched them both. It was great.
Is the first one as good as the second one?
Yeah. It's Alex Jones, dude.
I have
Okay,
become...
do you not... Oh my god.
I have now become a huge fan of Alex Jones after
I
watching
just
that.
had a brain blast.
What?
PCP lecture Alex Jones.
Can you do it? Do you know enough?
I don't know enough, but I mean,
He puts out content like 24/7.
I watched his old movie back before he did his show all the time. He made documentary movies, and I
Yeah.
watched all of them. They were amazing.
Dude,
I've been on this. I've been paying attention for a while.
Okay, so what is your take on Alex Jones?
He's the greatest. I love it. He's so good.
But like, what is your take on him?
Like what?
What do you think he is?
How
How do you feel about his actual stance?
he's like. I think like a lot of the stuff he says, he knows is bullshit. I think he's kind of just drums up controversy because it's useful to them. Like he makes a fuck ton of money, clearly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think a lot of it. I just think he probably started out legitimately like trying to be like exposing the truth and shit because like he allegedly broken like Bohemian Grove and things and then like he was doing this shit before the internet made it possible for him to expand to the degree he has. But I think as soon as he started making the big like conspiracy bucks, he probably started leaning into it. Because like a lot of the stuff in the beginning was like rough.
I mean,
like,
okay, what do you think about all the shit about like the stuff he says about like how his mind works, like that he's having these like psychic dream experiences where he predicts the future.
And I don't. And I would say I think he's crazy. I don't mean like Alex Jones believes some crazy shit. No, I think he's like mentally not well.
But I also I think that.
But not in a debilitating way.
No, and also he seems like a really smart guy. That's the other thing. But he's like really intelligent, but his brain's just fucked up.
Yeah.
But like
it's called autism, dude.
The lines where he's like, I'm definitely autistic and like I might be socially retarded. Like that shit makes that episode legendary.
It's the best. It's so good. I love Alex Jones. God damn it.
No, I might be retarded. But like when I listen to him talk, this is something I got into an argument on my Discord recently about this, and I'm sure I'm gonna get into an argument about it again now. But I had said that like I think generally conspiracy theorists they're not so much like that they're wrong in what they think they're saying, just they're wrong in like what they are literally saying. Does that make sense? Like I think a lot of them
they're coming to the right conclusions with the wrong logic.
Yeah, basically. Not even necessarily the right conclusions, but like they're in the right headspace.
Logical conclusions through illogical reasons.
Right. And it's kind of like an acid trip. Because when you do acid, the reason that you see things that aren't there is that you're taking in too much sensory information for you to process at the same time, and your brain is not sorting it out well enough, and so it's just filling in the gaps. It's just trying to make sense of what the fuck is happening. And that's why shit is constantly moving that shouldn't be moving and stuff like that, is because your brain can't keep track of it. It's like it's being overloaded. It can't keep tracking that thing to the same location over and over again when your eyeballs are constantly moving, you know? Like, too much shit's going on. So, I think that with conspiracy theories, they're basically looking at the enormity of information that they have and then trying to create a logical through line between it. But their logical through line is just some shit they made up. And, like, depending on how much self-awareness they have about this, they can communicate what they think the truth is without sounding too insane. And, like, I'm somebody who like, generally thinks that there is a lot more of a story behind everything going on than what most people think, you know? There's a reason that everything happens, and the reason is not as simplistic as what it seems on the surface. Does this mean it's a conspiracy? Not necessarily. I think most people are way more incompetent than people generally realize, you know? But, like, nonetheless, there are systems at work underlying everything, And a lot of fucked shit has happened as a result of these systems. A lot of crazy fucking shit goes on in this world. And Alex Jones clearly sees every fucking crazy thing that goes on. He investigates and finds out about everything the government has ever done to completely fuck the population. And these are all real things. They're all fucking crazy things that are real, that he brings up. And they corroborate. That's like the main thrust of intrigue in this Joe Rogan podcast, is that every time he brings up some crazy shit, Joe Rogan's like, have our guy look it up. And they look it up and they find it and it's true, right?
Yeah.
But then he also starts talking about aliens and the clockwork elves who are in control of all of society. But, like, he will stop and say at times that they are, what he's describing is metaphorical. That, like, these are the best words he has to describe his understanding of what these things are. Like, he talks about aliens a lot, but he just says aliens are just beings that are not of this world naturally.
Right.
So, like, he describes these human animal chimeras, which are a real experiment that has happened of trying to create, like, human animal hybrid, but, like, in, like, an embryonic state, you know? It's, like, not something that's happened on, like, a scale where there's fucking chimeras walking around, but he's taken that article, taken it to the extreme of what it could mean, and then, like, described that as aliens because it fits into the category of this general thing he's talking about, of, like, human experimentation and, like, some higher life form guiding the hand of evolution and shit like that, right?
I think the interesting thing with Alex Jones at this point, as we can understand him, is because he's like friends with Joe Rogan, and like I generally trust Joe Rogan. Like everything Joe says about Alex gives him more legitimacy and just like makes him less bullshitty in my mind, I guess.
He comes off less cynical, because I think the presentation of Alex Jones I've always seen is people just making fun of the crazy shit he said. And he says crazy shit, but, like, it's always obvious that he's just saying a very extreme version of what he means. Like, they're putting this shit in the water that's turning the frogs gay. It's like, the core of the message there is that they are polluting the water with something that does something hormonally to the life species there. It's not literally turning the frogs gay, necessarily,
right,
but he's using a flowery way of describing something that he thinks is happening, you know? And whether or not that thing is even happening, that is, you know, another debate of, like, the crazy shit that he's saying is going on. A lot of it's not necessarily going on, but I think he sincerely believes in the things he's talking about. He's just saying it in a really extreme way. And he has, like, a system I picked up on watching the fucking thing of how he describes the information that he's relaying to you. If it's something that he knows is true, he will insist that you look it up. He'll be like, it's in the mainstream literature, you can Google it, right?
Right.
Because you can then go Google that thing and you can go, okay, I know at least up to this point what you are saying is true. And he's usually saying to Google some crazy fucking shit that is real. Then he'll say, as he gets deeper into it, he'll start talking about stuff that's in the more esoteric literature. That is to say, you can't Google this, but if you were to go to a library and look this up, or like talk to somebody with a PhD, they will substantiate this claim. I am inclined to believe him when he says that, because usually the things he says on that tier sound like things that are probably true. But then he'll get to the level where he starts talking about stuff that's been declassified. This is where you start getting into the shit where you're like, I don't know about that. Like, that sounds plausible, but I have never heard anything about that. If it is true, that's crazy shit, and it helps your point, I guess. But, like, you know, he'll just say, this has all been declassified. And you're like, show me the documents. Like, I need to know, how easily can I find this information? But then there's the truly high-level secrets. And that's the stuff that he's like, he'll admit, I have no way of proving this. This is just my personal experience, or I heard this from like people, you know, like my inside sources.
Right.
That's when he starts talking about aliens and shit. That's when he starts talking about the Gray Men and fucking, you know, the Clockwork Elves and the real high level crazy shit. And so you just gotta follow the system. You just gotta understand that you can't look at it cynically. It's that this is the level on which he believes each of these things. The things he's read and can prove by Google, he's like, I know that much is true. When he gets to the level of, I've heard this from people, even he's like, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard it from people and I believe it. That's how I look at the way he talks, you know?
Right.
And that makes it really interesting to listen to, because you will hear some interesting facts, and then you'll hear a weird theory about the possibility that this could be from a guy who's like, this is what I think is true, but I'm admitting I can't prove it to you, you know? And I'm like, alright, interesting take. Like, I can communicate with that. I don't find that to be too manipulative for me to entertain the notion of if he is serious about everything he's saying, you know? Right. If it was just like a character he was putting on for the sake of selling pills, then you'd be like, alright, he's just saying crazy shit. But the man, one way or another, the work ethic on him is crazy. I mean, he literally can just talk forever. He kept challenging to go longer. He wanted to do that episode all day. But he also does seem like he has, like, he definitely has some kind of crazy issues with his brain. Because, like, in the middle of conversations, he'll just lose track of what the fuck he's saying and be, like, lost and, like, in a haze, like he's fucking got roid rage or something. Like, he'll just escalate to a level of screaming in a very personal manner, you know? Fascinating person. Munchie and Alex Jones would be great. I agree.
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Interdimensional shape-shifting child molesters.
As he's on record saying that.
Vampires. See, that's the thing. Like, there's a clip of him talking about vampires where he literally says, like, I'm not saying that vampires exist, but these Hollywood people are, like, putting children blood into their fucking skin. So, like, this is basically vampires. You know?
Right. What is this if not vampire?
Right, exactly. Hey Digi, how come you won't fully commit to making I Am Games a low-effort cash grab, but also won't make it into a passion project, leaving the whole project stuck in this ineffective middle ground where ultimately it can either succeed as a monetary venture or an artistic one? I mean, what makes you think that I'm not trying to make it a passion project? Passion projects just take a long fucking time to make. I have a Metroid Prime video that I've played through the game 3 times in the process of creating. I might even do a longer version of it if the short version is successful. By short, I mean 17-minute long. I would like to continue the Tales retrospective as well. He skipped over a 6-month subscriber. Who? Let me scroll up and find whoever we're talking about. Tito Kazlim, tier 1 for 6 months, says games, but I forgot my t-shirt today. If you actually have a t-shirt, that's fucking ill, dude.
More people should be like you.
Yeah.
Hint, hint, not judge.
Wise Man Matto says, Game Grumps got bad after Aaron first disagreed with one of my opinions. It's been bad ever since. Tony, you need to do the lecture on him.
I would have to do so much research. Like, it'd be such a cool idea, but like just the amount. Because like I was big.
Puts out so much content.
Yeah, I was like really big into Alex Jones in like 2010, 2011. All right, that was like
That's
my
way the fuck
phase.
back.
Yeah, I was
That's
listening.
before he was even famous.
Yeah, exactly. He was not a big deal yet. Because like I got into Alex Jones because I was big into Zeitgeist for a while, and I watched those movies and Peter Joseph, and I really liked his shit. And then that led into Alex Jones, and like nobody really knew who he was at the time. And I was just like, this dude's fucking crazy.
I just think he's a mad scientist, you know. He's a lot like Okabe from Steins Gate, like just like raving mad crazy shit about stuff that like basically is rooted in just science fiction ideas that are kind of plausible about the future, but like just interpreting it with terminology that makes it sound fucking crazy. But then also having like something neurologically wrong enough with you that you do sincerely have like episodes of fucking total mania where you come up with this shit.
It's pretty great.
Yeah,
He's like, it's like the perfect storm.
it
you know?
really is.
You watch enough Alex Jones and it just clicks, and you understand why he is where he is.
I mean, it definitely left me feeling like it's really a shame that he's being deplatformed the way he is. Like, if people are taking the shit he's saying too seriously, and people who disagree with him politically are upset about it, like, that's unfortunate, but there's no reason to deplatform him. You can believe what he's saying or not, but it's fucking entertaining to listen to, and it deserves to exist. It's just one guy's interpretation of what he thinks is going on in the world, you know?
Yeah.
Alex Jones' theories sound like Hiroya Oku mangas like Gantz or Inuyashiki. You ever watch Gantz?
No, I know of it. I'm too busy watching Naruto Kai, dude. Do you think I got time for Gantz?
I can't believe you're watching that.
Dude, I'm unironically enjoying it.
Tom, did you know that Ruben Langdon literally believes in spirit science and lizard people?
That's great. I love it.
Who is that?
Fuck. He's like one of the DMC dudes.
Oh.
I know the name, but I don't remember.
Digi/Tom, watch John Oliver. I
Why?
used to watch him back in like his first year.
Yeah, me too. Before it got like really.
Before Trump happened,
yeah.
basically.
Before it became very biased.
Well, because in the early days, the appeal of it was that he would do these big exposés on like
Social.
social issues or corporations that had done like some really fucked shit, and then they would do something about it. They would like get real information and like make a real journalistic pursuit.
There's
of
actually
it.
a
It
good
was
episode
cool.
he did a few weeks ago on robocalls, which I actually did.
Well, the reason I don't watch any of his shit anymore, regardless of what it's going to be about, aside from the fact that he's always going to slip in like 80 of the same fucking Trump joke into every single one, is that his delivery is always exactly the same.
Yeah.
And it becomes maddening once you start to like really notice it, and
Yeah.
you're like, I can't watch this anymore. Like I
He
can't
just-
watch.
He has one bit. It's just one bit over and over.
He like his posture. It just like he leans forward, does the climax, leans back, and like does the same thing. Or no, well he goes back when he does the like apex of the joke. Then he leans forward and talks quieter, and then he goes back and back and back and back. Oh,
Or he'll have a punchline, and
then
like
leans
while
back
the
in.
audience is laughing, he'll repeat like part of the punchline again,
Yeah.
and it's just like for emphasis, but it just sounds stupid. Yeah,
Ruben Langdon is Dante.
yeah.
He's the one who believes in spirit science.
Good. I would hope that someone voicing someone like Dante would be a fucking psycho.
That sounds great.
It sounds completely on point. I'd be more disappointed if he didn't believe in spirit science.
Is Tom Oliver and John Oliver related?
One's a Power Ranger, one's a social justice warrior.
This fucking music is like... What band did this one?
I don't know.
Is it more Combi Christ?
No. Shut up, the Combat Christ soundtrack in DMC was fucking dope. I'll go to war for that.
What is the dev voice channel for? It's locked and its existence and simultaneous inaccessibility frightens and disturbs.
I don't even remember why I know that.
Why is it locked?
That's really a good question. I don't have an answer.
Tome, what is the best track in all of Guilty Gear?
Fuck. Probably either No Mercy or Still in the Dark from Guilty Gear X1.
I've never spent enough time with the Guilty Gear soundtrack. The one that I always knew the name of and therefore listened to over and over again is Holy Orders, Be Just or Be Dead.
That's a great one too. The guy who did the crazy Devil May Cry, first guy to beat the game possibly, he set it to the compilation video he put out to a remix of Still in the Dark, and oh man, it was so choice. I've watched a bunch of like Devil May Cry videos, and they're all backed to Guilty Gear music. I'm like, these are my people. Like, I've clearly made a mistake. Not like getting hyper involved to begin with.
Digi, I'm playing Dark Souls 3. When do the 6 strength weapons drop? I mean, you get some crazy ass like axes and shit. There's like a later game boss that drops this fucking big ass fucking axe that I used forever after I got it. I don't remember what I was using before that. But generally, you know, if the game has this Vihander, that's always like one of the best fucking strength weapons. That's usually what the go-to. Claymore is also good until you get this Vihander. Do you do karaoke often? No. I do sing often though. For like, the funny thing about doing karaoke is that like it's close enough to what I would do at home that it doesn't feel that special, unless you're doing it with people who wouldn't necessarily just sing with you at home anyways, the same songs, you know? Or if it's in front of a crowd, you know, then obviously there's a bigger performative element to it. But I always do karaoke at Otakon if I go, and, you know, that's about it. Why didn't you ring in Nate when he went on an Alex Jones rant last PCP? I don't know, I didn't hear it. Were you there, Tom?
Not last one, no.
Well, was he complaining about Alex Jones?
Doesn't sound like very Nate.
No. Did you listen to Satyricon? I have listened to Satyricon. My mom was a big fan. If you're talking about John Oliver's one bit, don't forget the totally random comparison that is too absurd to really be funny, and also doesn't really help make his serious point anyway. Yeah, pretty much.
Subject matter of this video. The thing that's kind of like the thing that's not really like the thing at all. Cue laughter. These are the most annoying enemies in the game, just because I don't know how to fight them. There's definitely a way to like counter them and kill them instantly, and I don't know how to do it. So they just fucking steal.
What bones have you guys broken before? I know Digi broke his foot doing karaoke.
I broke my leg running down the stairs. That's it.
Yeah, my foot was the only one I broke. I mean, I broke like a, or at least chipped some kind of inner hand bone at some point, but there was nothing I could do about it, so it just eventually stopped hurting.
Not bad performance. 0 out of 10. Kill me down.
I don't remember them talking about Alex Jones, but there was a huge political shit show between Nate and Ben.
Well, what a surprise. They're like not politically consistent with each other.
Ben and Nate went full blue versus red last episode. You guys should listen to it. Why are they doing this? Why has Ben decided to get really political out of nowhere?
He's always been blue-pilled as fuck.
But he's... I don't understand his political stance because he just kind of sides with things and makes it seem like a meme. And, like, I can't ever tell how serious he's being or what he really, like, how he's justified the things he believes in or what.
Sometimes Ben gets so blue-pilled, I don't understand how he can be associated with
I
this.
was hoping I could just follow
It's bizarre.
but they're not making it easy for me.
It's very weird.
I mean, I could probably make a compilation of him saying faggot 1,000 times. Like, so he can't be that blue-pilled.
It's just a bit of a communist.
I mean, yeah. He's all about the Yang dude right now, which I guess Joe Rogan did a podcast with recently. I want to
Yeah,
watch
I
it.
want to watch it so bad.
I want to know. I just want to know what that guy's deal is.
Yeah, I'm interested.
I feel like he's like the new savior for the left now that.
Now, his platform is that, like, everybody gets $1,000 from the government a month.
Right. It's
I
very.
don't know.
That's like super progressive lefty. I don't mean like
Yeah.
traditional lefty. I mean like new lefty and new
no,
left.
you're right about that.
I feel like Ocasio-Cortez is like blowing up in the wrong way now too much, and they need a new dude. You know,
She's too fucking young and too
dumb.
dumb. Yeah.
Ninja Jeff says the Ben and Nate politics stuff is very entertaining though, like some of my favorite podcast material. Well, you gotta listen, I guess. Keyblade says Langdon directed a documentary in 2010 where he interviews all sorts of hillbilly weirdo crackers who think they saw or are aliens. And the lady in the Spirit Science episode refers to herself exclusively as a hive mind of 9-dimensional beings and keeps her eyes closed the entire time, presumably to keep her crazy ass ascended beyond the physical plane. Tito Kazim says, at the end of the day, it's not the color of your pill, but the friendship in your heart that keeps you together.
Tell that to
Don't
Twitter.
want to keep Mr. Demon King waiting. Gotta pick up the pace.
I got banned for making a Michael Jackson joke for Mastodon.
I can't believe that shit.
It was so funny.
Mark, you can't call women dumb in 2019. You hear me, Mark?
What?
The guy said, Mark, you can't call women dumb in 2019.
My bad.
Mark's a demi-war, it's okay.
This guy says, the Ben and Nate political arguing is annoying and stupid and makes me like the podcast less.
Well, much like politics themselves, I'm sure it's divisive.
Yep. Nate is literally just my worldview and politics interjection. Ben went down a whole people shouldn't be allowed to become billionaires, it's a moral thing.
Oh, that's
That
very,
sounds
that's
like
very
something he
AOC.
That sounds like a Ben argument. Ben just hates rich people.
I mean, as someone living in squalor, it makes sense.
Also, Munchie was completely 100% right. These people exclusively use two vague nouns to describe literally everything, those being energy and consciousness.
They use vibrations a lot sometimes too, which never made sense to me.
Ben and Nate's arguments are just one point from each, repeated over and over without actually listening to each other. Yeah, that also sounds about right.
Someday I'll be good at this game. It's a lot.
I had to give up on the podcast because of the politics. F. I'm neutral about Ben and Nate's arguments, and then a neutral face. Hey Digi, if any piece of media is good, basically perfect, but you don't agree with the message of the history, does this change your rating for this piece of media? I don't know, man. Depends on... I mean, like,
It's been a while since I used my brain this much.
a good story is not going to be so ham-fisted with its message that that is the main appeal of it. You know? Like, I don't think something that's that great would have a message that is so easily derived that there's only one clear answer, and like, it's, you know, I don't know. I guess I've never encountered a scenario like this. There's never been something that I thought, oh, this would be perfect if I didn't think it was completely incorrect. Like, I probably just wouldn't think it was perfect in that case. I don't understand how Ben and Nate's marriage has lasted so long when they're so opposed. Tome, what is Mastodon?
It's a kind of alternative to Twitter. And it's very confusing. I don't really even know how to properly describe it. It's basically set up, broken down into instances. So Twitter is one big thing. You just go on Twitter and you're on Twitter. On Mastodon, you can go into like little groups, like little subsections, little micro communities that all function as part of Mastodon, but they're like kind of segmented off. You have like a feed of just your instance, then you have a feed of the entire platform. And each instance can have its own rules and own like things. And you can either choose to add or subtract things from your instance's feed. So like different instances can be grouped together.
Sounds way too complicated.
That was my thing, because we talked about this on Market How Do for a while. And we had an entire chat, because like some guy in our chat was like fucking championing this platform a lot. So we brought him in to talk about it, and for an hour I was just like, this sounds way too complicated and nobody will get it. And I still kind of hold that position because I think it's just...
I don't see the appeal in it at all.
It's a very Linux-y feeling kind of thing where it's like the ideas here are good, but it's just like obscured behind so much abstraction that you have to be a nerd to get it.
I was somebody who thought that Google Plus seemed like a really great idea, but most people didn't get it. And the reason that most people didn't get it is that the average Facebook user has nothing to hide. Like, Google Plus, like, appealed to, if you're like a young internet user who has to have your parents on Facebook and you don't want them to see the shit that you're trying to talk to about in your communities on Facebook, you have two different circles for that. Genius idea. Normies didn't care at all because they're like, I'm not gonna, like, why would I want to share to just specific people? That isn't
right.
I don't care. I share my shit to everybody. I want everyone to see it. Like, so I don't think it caught on because it just is like, it's just a little too complicated and most people don't see the point. And like when you talk about Mastodon like that, I'm like, why would you want this system? This doesn't sound appealing. Like, what does this foster that you can't get on Twitter that's so good, you know?
The problem for me was that I made the mistake, like I joined a game, because I just searched game dev, and this was the first one that came out, game making, because they're all .social addresses. This is gamemaking.social. So you go to that web address, and it's just the instance, that instance on Mastodon. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. So I just started mirroring my tweets on there and whatever. But I got a message from the guy a couple weeks ago saying one of your posts was offensive, so I got rid of it, and I didn't know what he was talking about, so I was like, can you tell me what it was? And it was the cripple thing, when I said my leg was, so fucked up I feel like I'm crippled. And he had said that needed to be behind a content filter because it's ableist. And I was like, and I just didn't think really about it because I haven't used Mastodon at all. It just mirrors my tweets and it's fine. But today I woke up to, I finally got around to looking at your other shit, and you posted a really offensive podcast, and you made a joke that was like shaming abuse victims, and I was like, what are you fucking talking about? And it was a tweet that I made for Devil May Cry 5, where it was like, East versus West, Michael Jackson. West makes a documentary of dubious quality posthumously so the guy can't defend himself. And then it was like Japan, and it was just the screenshot of Dante doing the Michael Jackson dance in this game where you get the hat. And that was apparently abuse victim shaming, and I got banned for it.
Even though you were supporting the only victim of abuse in the whole equation.
The funniest fucking thing, too, about this entire endeavor is that the guy is just so fucking lefty. Like, the leftiest thing he said is that he talks about where the servers for Mastodon are located, and he uses, in quotation marks, so-called Canada and so-called France. And I didn't understand what that meant, and then eventually I figured out, oh, he's an open borders guy, so he doesn't believe in countries. So he just refers to them as so-called Canada and so-called France.
That's pretty extreme.
And I was like, oh my fucking god. And he has like a blacklist of like, I think, upwards of like 100-something instances on Mastodon, and I'm just like, I am in the wrong place. So I planned on like contacting him and telling him that his politics were not going to jive with my shit, and I needed to leave anyway. Because the problem is, my account, and this is the worst thing about it, the account for Mastodon is tied to an instance. So when he banned me, my entire account is basically gone, and I have to make a new account.
Okay.
Yeah, which, I mean, doesn't really matter. But, like, imagine that. Like, you build up a following on Mastodon, and you join one instance or something, that instance doesn't like you, and you lose everything. Because my posts are deleted across the entire platform, not just on that instance. You're stupid.
Pro tip for Tom about the annoying teleporting guys. Once you learn the timing of their attacks, you just gotta stop moving and wait till half a sec before they reappear, and do the big forward Cerberus spinning move or any other move with a long-term continuous hitbox. It's basically a cheat for parrying everything.
It's so gay. I don't want to stand around and do nothing.
A lot of people are asking if we got our Sekiro activation key from...
I don't know. I'd have to go check on. I go check my inbox on my PC and see if I got an email from Activision yet. I'll go do that. You can do whatever you want. Oh,
people are losing their shit about the anti-borders guy.
It's amazing. You gotta, if you want, just go to gamemaking.social and look at his profile and the rules for the instance, which I didn't before joining, and it's a fucking trip, dude. It's a fucking trip. It's funny. I have to look it up now on an incognito tab because I've been blocked. I can't even view the instance anymore.
Jesus.
Yeah.
The last judgment draweth nigh. The shadow remains cast. The witch hunts are over.
What does it even mean?
You died. What a terrible night to have a curse. Game over.
Fuck, I'm trying to find all this good shit. There's so much funny stuff.
Good shit. Funny stuff.
Yeah,
People are asking why you were even there.
Because we've been talking about, like, fucking Web 3.0 and shit. I'm always interested in checking out these new things. I didn't know that the instance itself was so fucked up, because I didn't pay a lot of attention to it.
Did you know that Yoko Taro told the guys at Platinum Games that they better make 2B's ass fat like Bayonetta? I'm really happy they did.
Let's see. Rules and expected conduct for gamemaking.social. I and any other admins or moderators who may be added later will do our best to provide a place where people can feel comfortable and not harassed. However, due to the nature of the Fediverse, I cannot guarantee a safe space. To do this, I expect the people to use content warnings following the usual Mastodon etiquette. For example, for politics, adult/lewd content, eye contact, food...
Eye contact?
Yeah, food, mental health. If in doubt, please ask first.
Does that mean you making eye contact with the camera?
I don't know.
What about a list of like 99 potential phobias that the audience members could have that you must run through and
I frequently
not post
check the
anything?
local and federated timelines to make sure the rules are kept to and block and silence instances who do not meet my expectations. I also monitor behavior from other instance accounts so I can block and silence preemptively. There's no tolerance for harassment or discrimination of any kind, directly or indirectly. For example, this includes racism, ableism, homophobia, transphobia, and turf shit, general Channer garbage, and so on. Respect each other's privacy choices. Please remember that the Anglophone web is not the USA, and others will have different cultural expectations and practices. Let's all respect each other's. Always remember we're here to encourage and support each other and hopefully make pals and make video games less bad. And if you have an account that's just for promoting your game without any interesting or engagement with other people, I will probably delete it. We are hosted on Masto.host on the niche plan. I believe the servers are in so-called Canada and France. And then there's a list of like 100 blocked servers. I'm gonna go check on that email now.
Fuck. Yeah. Boy. Oh god. What was I thinking about and all that ranting he was doing just now?
I have no idea.
Somewhere early on, he said something that made me think about something else. Some kind of rebuttal to something. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, just, it's really weird to me when they're, like, very selective about, like, what stuff you're not supposed to post because it could be triggering to somebody. It's, like, literally almost anything could be triggering to somebody.
Yeah.
What is the
You know what
amount?
triggers me? Bitching about getting triggered.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm a little flustered after today. Also, the email is 91% here.
the one that gets me the most, because, like, okay, a lot of people have phobias, and when you are afraid of something and you see it, it has a very similar spark as, like, a trigger. It's like you see something, it activates horror and fear and panic. You often run away, you know, and usually get paranoid afterwards that it's still around. And I've seen people who are, like, arachnophobic to the point that if they even see, like, a cartoon spider, they will freak the fuck out. They will not watch anything that has spiders in it. They will stop as soon as spiders appear. And, like, I have seen websites that have, like, tags for arachnophobia and stuff. Because it's just such a common one. Like, so many people are afraid of spiders, that's a big enough deal, they added a tag. But it's like, and I respect just adding, if you just want to add tags for absolutely everything, I guess go ahead. But it's just like enforcing it becomes ridiculous at some point when it's like everything could be a trigger to someone. How many people have to have an adverse reaction to the thing you said before you say this is too offensive for the sensibilities of the masses without being put behind a thing? Like, if you are somebody who has sensibilities that can be offended and you know this, exercise precaution when stepping into the field of the world and communicating with others.
I mean, this is a site that I'm sure if somebody was like talking shit about white men, their thing would be promoted. It wouldn't be taken down. It wouldn't be considered racist. It's just fucking lip cucks.
I like if I
I don't think they actually care about people's phobias. They just want to make it safe.
Yeah, there are things that I have got. I'm good at avoiding having to see. Like, I don't want to see extreme gore generally. I know where I might end up seeing it.
Sometimes on Facebook.
Right. You might like.
I went on Facebook one time and there was just some video of somebody getting run over.
Dude.
And it's like,
Damn.
My parents,
my
like,
day is ruined.
if either of my parents gets, like, injured, they'll just fucking,
yeah, they'll fucking do their
straight
surgery.
post a fucking picture of their, like, fucking open wound on Facebook. I'll, like, hold off on watching, review or best of the worst on Red Letter Media, because I'm like, they will always just put in, like, insanely fucking violent scenes from whatever they're talking about into their videos. And I gotta be, like, mentally prepared for that, you know? It's like, just get smart about your browsing. Know what you're getting yourself into. Have a strong constitution. If you think there's a chance that you're gonna see something that's gonna throw you into a fit all fucking day, don't go online. There's other things you can do with your time.
That's not how it works. The gun sounds so much cooler in 5. I really wish they just skipped this part on higher difficulties.
Hey guys, here's a dog that got beat half to death. Yeah, that sounds about right. Look at this game with characters that actually look great. Nero is the most relatable video game protagonist because he wears headphones in church.
True. I'm supposed to do side rolls right now. I'm on hard mode and they're still giving me a tutorial. You'd think they'd be like, hey.
Is this a reference to DMC4's first fight?
This
Are you
is
playing?
DMC. This is DMC.
Oh,
I switched games.
when did you switch?
While you were reading a chat.
Oh, I have to change the information.
I don't have to. Fucking cares.
What mode are you playing on?
Son of Sparta mode, so hard mode.
Okay. Swap us over to 4. Why did you switch?
No, this felt like it.
Special edition, right?
Yeah. Fucking charity, bro. I will say this game's way harder than 5.
Featuring Virgil from the Devil May Cry series. You said this game is harder than DMC5?
I think normal mode in 4 was as hard mode is on 5.
Yeah?
Dispensary in Boston is opening on Sunday.
Oh!
I imagine that's gonna be like the craziest line ever.
Yeah.
You know what you gotta do on the day that one opens? You gotta go to the one you normally go to. The line won't be nearly as long.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the only appeal of it being in Boston is that it's literally closer. So, Boston's like 30 minutes away. And the current closest one is like 55 minutes away. There's 2 that are like 55 minutes away.
So, I'm gonna change the subject entirely and be like, I like the art style in this game way more than 5.
Yeah?
Everybody looks like a cartoon, and I love it.
Yeah.
And in 5, everyone's just photorealistic. Look at, even like Dante's coat in this game is like fucking crimson. Dante's coat in 5 is like, it's a little red. It's like realistically red. This is just like fucking blood red. You know, it's like the meme from back in the day where everyone's like, Dante's coat was white when he first got it. It's fucking
They
great.
do have kind of like early PS3 face symptoms though.
Who's looking at the faces right now? Not me.
Well,
Look out. It's actually hard. I forgot I'm playing on hard mode.
this guy says
Do I
yes.
have all my moves again?
This guy says yes because he looks like shit. DMC5 looks okay.
I do.
Graphic 8's great, but the characters are ass. Do you ever get anything in the P.O. box anymore? R.I.P. I have one I've been meaning to make. I just haven't gotten around to it. Because I took a trip to LA and then I smoked weed non-stop since. I didn't think about what was going on in my life.
Oh god, he beat me
Now
up.
I'm doing I Am Games and I'm really hungry, so I hope that we stop soon and eat food.
Oh, we're playing second.
Are we gonna do that?
I don't know, are we?
I don't think we should probably play the illegal copy, right?
Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Did it. I beat the tutorial on hard mode.
I
I'm
would
so
definitely
good.
want to take a break before we did Sekiro and like sort things out.
In your
'Cause, I mean, you're
brain.
gonna have to fucking switch the computer and everything, right?
Yeah, it'll take a while.
Yeah, so I want to go eat something or something like that before that. You gotta confirm it fucking works.
It's true. Well, Nate's playing it, so I'm assuming it will work. I'm hoping my computer can be able to handle it. We'll see, I guess.
All important question.
I'm excited to play it. It looks cool.
We'll also have to hook up streaming. Your computer already has streaming tools.
Yeah.
That's good.
Why are all these games so good?
Invite Mark next stream as well. Mark, do you have any desire to be on stream if we stream Sekiro tonight? You should do it, because if we do that, then that'll be a lot of streaming.
Yeah.
You're gonna get real fucking bored. Are you hungry at all, or should I eat my IHOP leftovers?
Yes, but I don't know if I want to have dinner right now.
Will you bring me my IHOP leftovers?
Yeah.
They're down beside the couch. I forgot about them. But I will eat them all immediately. Can I just pour it off? Are you tired or did you just get too high? Mostly I got too high. I did 2 full blunts of all the weed that was left before the stream. And it was pretty great. I had an amazing idea for a video called Dark Souls vs. Devil May Cry that I was kind of starting to get into earlier, then I forgot.
I just remember to have a whole script somewhere from like 3 years ago about how DMC Devil May Cry is actually good. I'm trying to dig that.
Yeah, if you feel like editing it, have you made any progress on the Splatoon video?
One of my friends said they were going to edit it for me, but they haven't done it yet. So I feel like it's probably not happening anymore. I mean, the video's happening. It's just the editing offer, I think, is DOA.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Indeed.
I will definitely be entering the editing stage on the Metroid Prime video very soon. Because I don't really have anything else I plan to do for the next week or so. And that video should not take more than a day. I have all the footage myself. But, like, sincerely, I'm putting this out there. If my Metroid Prime video gets at least, like, 50,000 views, maybe less than that, I'll be willing to bargain. But if it gets 50,000 views, I will probably do a follow-up video that's like an hours long, in-depth deep dive on Metroid Prime. Because I really like the game, and I've played through it several times, and it's not that long. It wouldn't be that hard to do. The video I wrote is like 17 minutes. It's pretty detailed. You know, it's like an in-depth analytical review. But I could go all the way in and make like a 4-hour thing. Possibly in the style of like the Matthew Matosis commentaries. Like the DMC one and the Dark Souls one, where he like does the whole game in order and talks about everything. Oh god, I've been doing like a whole analysis video in my head and I forgot that I was supposed to be talking out loud.
That's some Alex Jones shit right there, dude.
Are you going to drop Devu? I don't really want to... Devu has asked me not to really talk about him publicly because he's trying to not be a public figure. But, he has prospects that could go beyond working for me. So I don't know. I wouldn't say
Sounds
I
cool.
plan to drop him, but if he stops editing for me, it will be because it was the best decision for him.
Oh, I hadn't asked for like 0.7. Fuck your shit. So chat saying
We're just talking about how they're gonna miss Devue's editing, basically. And hey Nero, wanna SS? I don't know what the fuck that
is
means.
that supposed to be a sex joke?
I have no idea. Would you say dubs of games released from Japan are better than the majority of dubs in anime? No. It's usually the same fucking actors. I mean, fucking Dante here is, Nero. It's voiced by fucking,
Johnny Young Boss.
Johnny Young Boss.
Well, Devil May Cry 1, actually all of them until 5 didn't even have a Japanese dub. They were only in English.
That's
In
fucking
Japan.
hilarious. That's true of all Platinum games, right?
Maybe.
I think it was true of Vanquish and Bayonetta as well. Because I mean, I don't know what it is with Devil May Cry, if it's just because they think it's cool, but like, with Platinum, they just dub them in whatever voice they are supposed to canonically have, you know?
Right.
Same with Dark Souls, it's just like they got a bunch of like Irish people and shit.
Because
Because
voices in Dark Souls.
Huh?
There are voices in Dark Souls.
There's a ton of voice acting in Dark Souls.
Not you. You don't have a voice, right? You're just a silent pro tag.
Yeah. But all the NPCs
I guess it's true.
have voices, and they all have like Scottish and Irish accents and shit.
How very familiar. You're not gonna be able to hear Californian accents out of my characters in Dark Souls? What's even the point?
Nah, if it's a dub, it's fucking Texas.
Fucking dead! First boss of it is gonna fucking destroy me.
So Tom,
What up?
have you heard the latest news about autism?
You have it?
Huh?
You have it?
That's old news.
What is up? What is the new
Have
news?
you heard the news about how autism and dyslexia are opposites?
I remember you mentioning this a little while back.
Did I?
I think so. Is that true? That sounds weird.
I saw some TED talk about dyslexia. This guy was saying that, like, first of all, some absurd percentage of the population has it. As they always say.
I have mild dyslexia, and I also have mild autism. I can't have both, according to your own words.
Well,
Which is true. Am I just so autistic I can't read?
it's possible that you're so dyslexic you can't autist properly.
God damn it.
Because, the way this guy was talking about it, it basically is just like having a neurological configuration that just specifically makes it really difficult to read words. Like to see squiggly lines and like be able to completely understand the connection they have to the word that they represent. And, in spite of this, dyslexic people have a lot of other advantages. And there are, like, places... There was some university he mentioned, I think it was MIT, that was, like, known as the dyslexic university. Where, like, almost everyone there has dyslexia who happens to do that particular tech job. And, like, I think there's a tendency among them to be better at math than they are in English. So, what got me researching this is that my brother Victor is probably dyslexic. And he's struggled to read his whole life, but, like, he was never as bad as other, like, dyslexic people who we knew or had heard of. Like, who literally just, like, could not fucking read at all. But he's fucking struggles to read even the most basic shit. Because we tried to play Winner's Drink, the Dick Masterson card game, and he was like struggling to read the fucking words on the cards because he's so bad at reading. And he was like, I'm definitely dyslexic. Like, that was the conclusion he had come to. Well, then I was like, well, supposedly dyslexia is a neurological configuration which is atypical but necessarily different from autism, because that is also a neurological configuration. So they're just two different, like, other bell curves that exist outside of the normal bell curve that have been identified, basically. But that would mean that you can't be both. They just both are different from normal, you know? So, like, they identify with each other because they have similarities, but they are not actually the same. You know? And I really wonder...
How is he still?
I really wonder if we expanded our understanding of these things, if we would be able to recognize a pattern of, like, things that dyslexics are into
Oh, fucking cock-sucking fag. He had
Versus-
1 pixel of health.
versus things that normies are into and things that, like, autists are into. Like, if we could
Nothing
categorize...
autistic was that fucking matchup.
Huh? What'd you say?
He had 1 pixel of HP. and
Yeah,
fucking-
no, that was definitely some retarded shit. It didn't look like he had any health.
I know! I fucking... Oh, whatever.
But autists are also way better at math than language, are they? I fucking suck at math,
I guess
and
you're
I'm
not autistic.
only good at language. Hey, maybe I'm not. Maybe that's why I don't relate to the autists either. Maybe that's why I don't like waifu shit.
You just don't know.
Maybe I've got a whole other brain category that they haven't fucking given a name to yet. Called Bullshit Man.
Whoa. Bullshit, man.
Digi, I want to be a screenwriter / director. Do you think Victor would come to LA to work on a movie for me? No.
Whoa.
How can anybody in
Why can't I
college
do
be
this?
dyslexic? Reading scientific text is pretty much all you have to do.
Why can you slightly move the camera with the left analog stick?
Vic
why
is
would
poor
this,
boy,
why?
and poor boy eats, so yes. Horseshoe theory applied to autism and dyslexia. Oh no, Tom is mad. Boss clutched it. But you like anime, did you? Is Sekiro downloaded yet? Bullshit, man.
the
Why
email's
don't
probably
you
here
like
by now.
waifus, gay boy? Somehow what you said made me think you said food's probably here by now, and I was like, oh shit.
Dude, Grubhub it up,
I'm ready
dude.
to eat. I just ate my leftover fucking IHOP.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been the quest that I keep saying we should do together. I just started doing by myself, which is ordering pizza from everywhere and trying to figure out what the best place.
Oh, have you been doing that? Well, what's the best one?
So far 5-star is fucking great.
Where the fuck is that?
I don't know. It's just in Grubhub. I just went on Grubhub and just started ordering from places.
What is this, man?
5-star.
We shouldn't say any like too specific pizza places that will dox our location.
That's true.
But that sounds.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into it.
I've gone to like at least 6 different places in the last like 2 weeks, and that's probably the best one.
Oh boy. I have to look up where it is.
I think I can't say, but it's close.
Well, don't tell them it's close, because now they can just look it up.
If it's where I think it is, but it might not be. I've looked at a lot of pizza places. Max Act. Oh god, I should be using Exceed. What am I thinking?
Okay, it's not that close, but it is. Oh. I was just out there earlier today. Incredible. How the hell can you afford to Grubhub pizza from everywhere?
I can't. I'm just doing it anyway because I want to.
God. Is that just like, I need this in exchange for the pain I am suffering, or else I will kill myself?
Exactly. That's. I mean, I am a fat kid technically.
I will take responsibility for the fact that I told you not to die while I was gone.
Yeah, I suppose. You can reimburse me if you want. Actually, speaking of it, when are we getting I Am Games, I Am Paid?
Oh, did that happen yet?
I don't know.
It might have happened already, and I might have not fucking realized.
Guess we'll find out eventually.
Well, I can't access it on this.
I buy cool shit.
I'll let you know later.
Gold orb. Disgusting. Gold orbs are for cheaters.
I gotta read this like I'm screaming it. Selhar says, or maybe all brain configurations are more complex than a layman tier-ass TED Talk can convey, and all this conversation is pointless since these categories don't help us to understand others at all! It's fair. Shade is solid as snake. Dude, get some KFC in all caps. It's like, I wouldn't want to pay Grubhub prices for KFC.
There's only a few places that even are on Grubhub in this area. Like, I wanted to Grubhub Taco Bell because it's free right now, and they were like, none in this area will serve you. I'm like, well, fuck you. Don't put it all over my home screen if it doesn't even apply to me.
Selhar says, Digi is solid, Victor is liquid, Jeff is flaccid. So Tom quit keto?
Temporarily. I keep trying to get back on it, but I really like pizza a lot. I will be back. I have no idea how Virgil works. It looks cool. What? You have a teleported thing? Is that like a trickster style?
Tom quit keto specifically for the honey bun cereal. Dude, I got that shit. I got a box and it's great.
Isn't it fucking dope?
If we're not planning to have dinner soon, I might eat a bowl of that right now. What are we gonna have?
Why can't I just go up?
Minestrone!
Why?
How long does it take to make the minestrone? 50 minutes? Alright, because if we start on it now, like, we could probably take like an hour break before we do Sekiro if we're gonna do that. Because Tom's downloaded it illegally.
No!
And he got an activation key from Activision, I mean. He definitely got an activation key from Activision. So we're going to live stream that and be one of the first people to live stream Sekiro. You know, as in on the first day. And you know, I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna fucking talk about it. And hopefully our stream doesn't get taken down.
It's pretty cool. I don't know what I'm doing, but it looks badass.
Very make nice show, very could make pork chops.
Pork chop sounds really good too. How long would that?
Actually, rice too, so probably like, I don't know.
What would you rather have?
I have no idea.
I like the sound of both.
Yeah.
I'd be down for whichever. I do like the sound of doing things quicker.
Yeah, I guess I like the pork chop.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. You should never feel bad about pirating things. It's how it should be.
I don't feel bad. I just don't want to get.
Hey,
lost.
he's right. The guy is right here. He says, yes, I, Andrew Activision, sent them a key.
Oh, thanks, Andrew Activision.
Yeah, Andrew Activision is our boy. Good old Andy Activision. DMC is amazing because it's the only way to play a Shonen. 10 out of 10.
I mean, yeah, arguably true.
My god, the animations in Sekiro makes me wee giddy. The sound plus animation combo is literally better than most sex. Most sex, but not my sex. There's already a bunch of people playing it early.
Oh.
Damn, DMC5 has shitty graphics. This is DMC4. Cock!
Did you change the description? Is that the joke?
I did change the description.
Oh, then they're just stupid.
It was spicy sauce.
Oh, well, I won't say what I'm thinking, but you all know what I'm thinking. I mean, the coolest thing about this game, though, is playing as Nero and doing all the fucking, like, awesome grab animations. What's the point of even fighting
It's the
these
video
lizards?
quality that's bad. That's true. Our video quality is still bad.
Fuck, you're right. It's a little more acceptable with this game because there's not a lot to prettify with it.
This game is not aged well. I mean, it was a really early PS3 game, but like, damn. Like, Dark Souls clowns on this game visually, but that was way later. Even Demon Souls clowns on this game visually, but that was way later.
Keep in mind, both those games run at half the frame.
It's also true. And the coat looks good. AF.
Well, this model's from this version, the newer version of the game. So.
Tom, is DMC 1, 3, or 4 better?
I mean, my favorite's still the first one, just because I have so much nostalgia attached to it. I think 4 has the best gameplay, but I think 3 is probably the best overall game in terms of just, like, story and presentation and, like, the whole comes together the best in 3.
Oh my god, this guy just reminded me of something I was thinking about. Keyblade says, I need more power. While you were pounding Mad Puss, brother, I was studying the blade. Which I have no idea what that quote is from, but it's fucking hilarious. But it reminded me of, I was thinking about doing a video about how, like, we have this concept online of the virgin who achieves wizard status.
Right.
And what makes it so great and so funny is that it's simultaneously making fun of not having sex and having sex. Like, you're making fun of the guy for the fact that he has not gotten any fuck, and is therefore aged rapidly into an old gray man. However, you are also insinuating that because he has not had, you know, spent all the time that you would pursue on, or that you would spend pursuing sex or a relationship, whether achieving or maintaining it, you would have time to learn how to be a fucking god at something, you know? And that's why we look at, like, people who have dedicated an absurd amount of time to one thing, and we tend to think that they are an autistic wizard king, you know, particularly if it's something that doesn't really require them to be physically active. Because if you're autistic about something that requires you to be physically active, you're going to work out all the time. But if you're not, you have no real reason to other than just that you feel like it. But, you know, some of them guys get laid. Did you getting into Dark Souls, would you recommend original DS1 or remastered? Because somehow the remastered looks worse, but it also runs at 60 frames per second. I'm kind of conflicted. I mean, I haven't played the remastered. What I saw of it looked worse. Frame rate never bothered me that much in Dark Souls, but like, I also have the PC version, and you can just use DS Fix to make it run at 60 frames per second and
It's
unlock
locked
the...
at 30 on PC by default?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was a huge controversy, but like day one there was a patch from a fan,
It must have been because some animation was locked in frame rate. That's the only reason.
and like originally they had put that
God, you don't want to do
it was like if you bought the game on Steam it would like tell you about DS Fix basically, but then eventually they like C&D'd it, but I mean it's still out there, so like if you find DS Fix you can fucking make it happen. Tell him you can spam Virgil's teleport to be basically invincible as long as you mash the button.
Yeah, that's no fun. It's kind of fun. Are we ending this and like getting ready for the other stream? Are we doing that for real?
Yeah, I guess we should if you're at a stopping point here.
I mean, I'm literally just stalling for time until the download. The email gets here.
Alright, we're going to shut down this stream, eat some food. Tom's gonna fucking move his whole computer out here, I guess. And I'm gonna fucking batten the hatches. Is that what they say? Batten down the hatches?
I have no idea.
And fucking get ready to go into Sekiro. We're gonna promote this properly.
Alright. You should make like a channel video or something. A little
Yeah.
vlog being like, this is happening after I make sure it works.
Yes, after we make sure it works, we'll do a little short vlog.
Okie doke.
Later, bitch. Be the games you want to see.
I think I want to see Sekiro.